Welcome back to Australia Mania. It's the only wrestling podcast called Australia Mania. I'm your host, Ricki and David, as always, joined by the one and only, the lovely David Young. How you doing?
How much research did you do when you were going into setting up the name for this podcast and being like, okay, sick, we're going to call it Australia Mania, and then you really found out that there was actually no other podcast called Australia Mania?
Well, of course there isn't. It's a dumb name.
Don't say that. I reckon it's a fucking sick name.
Okay.
Think of the merch we could sell.
Yeah. We'll get on
Bruh.
to, if people actually start listening properly, we'll get on to merch.
All right, now back onto my shoot.
Go.
All right.
Go for the shoot.
You started this by saying, as always, and you're 100% right, Ricki, because as always, I am the most contributing member of Australia Mania since the rebrand.
Yes, I know.
Okay? Michael, once again, I'll cut your mustard here. Michael, once again, is absent from studio, thus making it 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, he is still out with an ACL. He's still limping on crutches and that, so he can't quite make it into the city.
Didn't realize he tore the ACL in his mouth where he can't produce a podcast, right?
Wow. Fucking hot takes.
Coming in hot ski with the shoots.
Hot takes.
Coming in hot ski.
Damn, son.
Air hoot.
Yeah. Actually, no, like the whole like naming process for this podcast was very, very short. I had about a list of maybe half a dozen names that were all terrible, and Australia Mania was the least terrible, I think. And I sent it to him like it was like some shit like two smarks with smikes or something like that. They were terrible names. They were all like
Marks with mics. That wouldn't be too bad.
I'm pretty sure there's already it was two smarks with smikes.
No, that's still sick, but like imagine like simple as like Marks with mics.
I'm pretty sure that's already a thing. I think it's already a podcast. I'm pretty sure. I had to look up a few. I'm just like, oh, that one's taken. Like 2 marks on, I don't know, something like that. But anyway,
Wouldn't it be so much better if they were actually both marks too?
Yeah.
Like that, you just really emphasize the gimmick. 2 marks on mics and they're both just called Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so tight.
For sure. That would be like...
We're never going to beat them. If that exists out there in the world, Australia Mania is never going to beat them.
No.
It doesn't matter how good our bands are. It doesn't matter if we get really in-deep and analytical discussions on wrestling topics. We're not going to beat 2 guys named Mark with a podcast called Marks with Mics.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Happen.
Like, I messaged and it was like, this was like the dumbest thing because like Australia, like the whole Australia thing, the STRAYA thing, is a very Australian thing. Like we have an abbreviate, like it's like, USA has America.
Yeah.
We have Australia.
We have Maccas.
We abbreviate everything, including the name of our country. So like the joke of like Australia is kind of lost on other people that don't live in Australia.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah. So it's like but I wanted it to be a very I wanted it to be obvious that like this is a very Australian wrestling podcast, which I don't think there's many of those out there.
And look, at the end of the day, I argue that outsiders go, "Oh, that's just lazy," and I go, "No, that's just efficient." I'm not going to waste another syllable calling it McDonald's, but I'm going to just call let's go Macca's. Like, I'm about efficiency.
McDaniel's, Mickey D's. Whatever.
Someone called it Mickey D's to me the other week. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I love Mickey D's.
Nah, dude.
Mickey D's is the best.
Where's Mickey D's stem from? Does it stem from here or stem from America?
I have no idea. No, but like everyone in America, because I lived with a couple of American girls back in like 2009. And like the first time we had a sesh, we're like, oh, you were going to Macca's. They're like, what? And it's like, Macca's. Just down the road, Macca's. I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, McDonald's. They're like, oh, McDonald's. And I was just like, oh, fuck, they don't know, do they? They don't understand the...
How can you not put 2 and 2 together?
I don't know, man. But yeah, no, like, they just call everything like McDonald's, Burger King. Like, they don't... Like, we call Hungry Jack's HJs. We go to that like...
Oh, well, look, yeah, no, fair enough.
I call it HJs.
You call it HJs. I'll still call it Hungry Jack's. But like, I'm not against an abbreviation.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. HJs just sounds like it's a bit rough. You know what I'm saying? Like Hungry Jack's, it's got. Macca's doesn't sound too rough. Macca's, because McDonald's is like, it's got a weird flow to it.
McDonald's.
You know?
Do it with the American accent, it kind of makes sense. But like McDonald's, it sounds dumb in the Australian accent. Macca's. Fucking Macca's.
It just makes sense.
Let's go to Macca's. Like Subbers.
Yeah, Subbers for Subway,
and then KF.
My dickhead,
just
okay.
KF for
all right,
KFC.
no. All right, I have a fundamental problem with this because my dickhead roommate calls it KF as well.
Yeah,
and he said it to me the other week, and he goes, "Yo, we're gonna get some KF." I'm like, "What the fuck is KF?" Right? And he goes, "KF," and I go, "Dude, Don't tell me right now that you're actually trying to say KFC, but you're further abbreviating the abbreviation, and you're calling it KF. At what point do we just go, let's get some K? And then in another world, let's get some K means a whole bunch of different things.
Oh, it does. It means something very different. But yeah, this is a wrestling podcast.
Call it fucking KF. I'm sorry. No. Well, look, these fast foods generally sponsor wrestling. See, this is where the segue comes in.
Mountain Dew.
All right, and then we call it Dew, right? And on to Raw.
Yeah.
And on to Raw.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, Mountain Dew sponsors most of the shows every week in, week out.
That's a good point, yeah. Mountain Dew isn't a big thing here, is it? Compared to the States.
Oh,
in the States, it's massive.
Nothing here is comparatively big compared to the States.
Yeah, no, but like you walk in any shop in Australia and they're going to have a Coke, but they're not going to have like a Mountain Dew all the time. They'll be like occasionally you get a Mountain Dew.
Well, you got to think, because Coke supplies every fast food chain.
True.
Mountain Dew, I'm pretty sure, just does KFC. I'm not going to fucking call it KF.
KFC Schweppes here in Australia. So it's Pepsi,
true.
Sunkist, Mountain Dew Solo.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah.
But they're like the only ones. Everyone else is Coke. Everything else is Coke, Sprite, Fanta, all that shit. Anyway, we're a wrestling podcast. What's going on?
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you have any hot takes to kick us off this week? You always come to me with this. Well, you have the hot takes, and like when Michael comes back, I'm thinking of making it a set. Like we've got Michael's news.
We'll formalize it.
Michael's news, and then David's hot takes.
Well, look, this is what I said to your boys the other day, and you guys, because you told me, you're like, David, we're gonna start the show now with hot takes because you always got some bullshit controversial opinion. And look, I do, but honestly, I forget them, right? And this is at the point where if we're gonna do a run sheet, I would like to have them written down as soon as I say them.
Well, usually you say them in the chat like 2 days earlier.
I do, but I'm not going to go back through the tape. Look, all right, the first one that comes to mind
I'm going back through the tapes. Hang on.
All right, the first one that comes to mind is I would like to discuss how Scott Steiner might actually be the greatest performer of all time in wrestling.
Yeah, see, that's
not just in ring, but all encompassing.
Right.
All encompassing. I'm actually highly valuing his promo work.
Yeah.
I really have nothing else to say about it.
Is it on TNA?
Huh?
Is it on TNA?
I linked you the video. To everyone out there, surely we know the promo that Scott Steiner cut with where he does math.
The what?
Where he does math.
Is this a recent thing or is this old?
No, this is old. TNA.
I've never watched.
But you've never watched. I linked the promo.
I've never watched TNA.
I linked the promo.
I didn't watch it.
I think he's versing Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle at Sacrifice, right? And he's talking about how, in one-on-one competition, it realistically a wrestler has 50% chance of winning, right? And he goes, but I'm not an everyday kind of guy. So your chances of beating me one-on-one drastically lower to 25%, thus meaning I have 75% chance of winning a match. And then he goes, and then you throw in Kurt Angle and you think, oh, everyone has a 33rd and a third chance of winning. But then I know. Oh, you're watching it?
Yeah, hang on.
No, watch it after. Dude,
Okay.
I'm cutting the promo almost word for word right now.
Yeah, right,
and he goes, I know Kurt Angle can't beat me. So you take out his 33rd and a third chance of winning, and that makes me 66 and 2/3% chance winning. And you take your 33rd and a third chance winning Samoa Joe minus the 25% chance that you can't beat me, and you have like 16-something% chance of winning. And you add that on top of my 75% chance, on top of the 66 and a 2/3 chance of winning, and I have 140% chance of winning. And he goes, the math speaks for itself, Joe, right? And at Sacrifice, it spells disaster. It's just the greatest promo of all time.
Yeah, that sounds good in theory. That's ridiculous. But that is
just
funny.
my hot take. But
that is funny. But
it's the complete seriousness on Scott and Scott Steiner's serious take on his own character that just really puts it over the edge. That he is genuinely cutting this promo and going, at the end of the day, 140-something% chance of winning or is a guarantee, and I'm going to hit this spot, right? Not knowing that he's just an absolute jobber. Like,
he's a ridiculous human being. He's beyond ridiculous.
He's cooked. Like, he's got to be cooked every 5. Like, there's no way he's ever walked into a building. I'm not going to say sober, but just of sound mind.
Does he go in the Hall of Fame at some point? Do you think?
Oh,
do you think
his body of work?
they would risk giving him an open microphone in front of the WWE universe.
When Triple H gets full control, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I reckon when Triple H gets reins of that company and kicks Reigns out.
I was about to say, when he gets the reins, he gets rid of the reins.
I reckon he's going to, maybe not for the first year or so, but he will play it riskier down the line and be more attentive to I'm going to say the louder crowd of wrestling fans, which are the more hardcore smarks. Like, I'm not talking ECW hardcore, but I'm talking like, come on, we want
NXT audience.
Yeah, the NXT audience where we want. But NXT still runs kind of PG, but
it has to. It's still under the WWE.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They're never going to move out of PG.
No, not out of PG. You can move out of PG.
Not when they're a publicly traded company.
I know what you're saying, Ricky, and I'm hearing you.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
And look, I'm gonna try and attack this from the heel perspective.
Okay.
Because this is just the gimmick I found myself in.
What a shock, yes.
You could move out of PG and still internally keep a lot of it's like you define PG as being very like safe.
Boring.
But boring. Okay, like the wrestling itself doesn't have to conform to PG, right? You can still do blood and all that, but you can have PG internally, like with how they backstage treat wrestlers. Because I think when they moved to PG, like it all came about from the Chris Benoit.
Oh yes,
like that's where it stemmed heavily, right? And then they started doing like the proper drug testing, the proper kind of concussion checks from that point on.
Good.
And then that's where like they made the hard switch to PG and ended that ruthless aggression era because like they saw like all these like I'm not gonna say like the way they worked in ring, right? The way they worked in ring wasn't necessarily bad. It was what they were doing outside of the ring, not the checks, right? Because at the end of the day, anyone can go through these injuries, right? Just based on the standard bumps. These are natural risks that you're signing on and conforming to, right, in the industry, right? There's only so much you can, quote unquote, do a PG wrestling show, right? Because at the end of the day, it's wrestling. They're going to be hitting punches and spears and doing these death-defying acts, right? And then in ring, where do you draw PG? Oh, it's from probably blood. Right, and having these kind of first blood matches or these deliberate kind of like really
the first blood match was a thing.
First blood match, like the Inferno match,
Bring
right?
that back.
Where these matches are deliberately really designed to hurt you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where they stop. That's where PG stops. And that's what I'm saying. But everything else can still be treated as like a no DQ match and have chair shot. And they do it, right? But like
it's always chair shot to the gut, then to the back.
So then, then you move it further from the ring, from in ring, and then you go promo work, and then you go, well, PG promo work, like.
Hang on. Paul Heyman said bullshit on live television this week.
And Brock Lesnar swears like they
have
control Lesnar.
They have like carte blanche. They can do whatever they want because they're Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but then and then Roman Reigns they always
he's a bitch.
Yeah, they struggle to say.
God, they love that word.
Yeah, they struggle to say bitch, and now
they even beeped it out on YouTube on the replay. They beeped out the word bitch. I'm just like, come on.
Were they still with USA Network prior to PG? Or is it also a switch in networks that made them PG?
They've been with... They had a brief period off USA where they're on Spike TV, I want to say, over there. I can't remember what year it was. But for the most part, Raw itself has been on USA for the most of its 25-year run. SmackDown has been sort of all over the place, but finally found itself on USA as well. But
for here, it's always been Fox 8.
Well, it was originally on Channel 9.
Oh, was it?
Back in the Attitude Era. You had WCW, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe it was only WCW. I know one of them, WCW or WWE or WWF, was on Channel 9 way back in the Attitude Era. And then when Foxtel became a thing, it got moved across to Fox 8, and it's been on Fox 8 for As long as
at the end
I've
of the
been
day, it's
watching.
not even a network. Not even a network issue with them.
Well, no,
where the network's going down their throats.
The thing that changed was they went from being a private company owned solely by Vince McMahon and his family to being a publicly traded company with investors and stockholders and shit. And now they've got to answer
surely
to the investors and to the stockholders.
And
that's
where you're right. And like obviously, I'm just saying, like, yeah. Yeah, all right. Fuck it. Yeah, look, no, you're right. Look, I'm not disputing. No, you're 100% right. Because they've now become a publicly traded company, obviously they're now adhering to their shareholders.
Yes.
And their shareholders are just,
have certain expectations.
Yeah, absolute marks that want to keep
because,
this PG.
the kids are still like the major, like it used to be the 18 to 35 males, the college students that were watching Raw every week, and now it's switched to its kids. It's the younger demographic, and you got to appeal to that, and you got to keep that audience. You want that audience to grow up when they turn into the 18 to 35-year-old range and still watch the product, but you got to catch them as kids. That's what they want. That's what they want to do. That's pretty much the company. Because like you look at that, biggest star in the last 10 years has been John Cena. Who does he appeal to? Little kids.
And his gimmick changed according.
And their
you can
mums.
tell. Yeah, his gimmick changed according.
He could not go back to Doctor of Thugonomics right now.
He couldn't.
He could
but
not do that.
It's
it would
not
be
to say that.
Fucking awesome if he did, but he's not gonna.
But there was and this is where I draw my basis from, saying that when Triple H does get kind of this control, you can kind of argue that it goes back not to ruthless aggression, but not to hardcore Fruity Pebble PG. Like you can tell from like 2012, 13 onwards that it did shift away from very cookie cutter, kind of very safe, not necessarily booking, but characters, right? And they've started, especially with the introduction of Brock Lesnar again, like
and CM Punk.
The
pipe bomb changed a lot.
The pipe bomb changed a lot.
We don't give it that much. Like a lot of people give it a lot of credit for being an awesome promo and stuff, but like the sort of the paradigm shift that happened.
But it was a paradigm shift in terms of talent.
After that, it was, yeah. But like, and that's also just like CM Punk just sort of being awesome and please come back. I miss you. But it was, yeah.
Can you believe it's been 4 years?
I know. How mental is that?
Still can't fucking believe
that. That is insane. He's been gone for that long. It's just like, man, I just come back.
Give it 3 more years and he'll do the Rock return. Take 7 years.
He'll be like,
you reckon he comes back?
I
was actually watching a fair bit of like content the other day of I started with the pipe bomb, and like I watch the pipe bomb once a month. Literally watch it. Like I do it as like a pre-gym kind of thing. It actually gets me hype. Like and I watched it, and then I kind of just like YouTube autoplay for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it did run over to like Colt Cabana's podcast and CM Punk jumping on and talking UFC, and then like here and there, and then it moved over to Jim Cornette discussing the leave and departure, and I was listening to all this, and like, you know, wrestlers who have gone out and come back always say, you get the itch. Jericho's on record. He says, you get the itch. Yep. Steve Austin says it. You get the itch, right? Every wrestler worth their salt has sat back and said to themselves, oh, you know, I can be gone 2, 3, 10 years, but you come back to the business.
Yeah.
You look at Bret Hart. Look at Goldberg. Right?
Yeah, okay. When you say those two names, especially Bret Hart, at what point is it too late for CM Punk to come back and compete?
That's the other thing. He's 40-something.
Yeah. So you're saying another 3 years, he's going to be mid-40s.
Yeah. I'm saying if he doesn't return in the next 2 to 3 years, I'm not even thinking full-time. But this is where
not full-time, but like just a match, just a good match.
Like and then that's the thing too, right? Like this is where you look at it now and you go, if CM Punk, even now at this point, if CM Punk would return, it would not be at a full-time capacity.
No.
Right? Because you're looking at guys like Rey Mysterio, who is age, who don't even want to work the full-time capacity, right? Despite the fact that we want it, right? And this just goes to show, like, people like Rey Mysterio, and then if in a perfect world CM Punk were to like renegotiate, they would be part-time basis, right? And
it'd be Big Four and a dozen Raws.
Yeah. You'd be running like
that's roughly
a budget Brock Lesnar kind of deal.
That's roughly what Brock Lesnar's deal is. It's what, 4 to 5 pay-per-views a year plus a Raw or 2 in between to promote him. That's it. And he's already used up all his dates. So contractually, he doesn't have to show up to WrestleMania, which is so fucking stupid.
I sussed the rumor the other day, and I know I posted it in the chat, but I sussed the rumor the other day.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's apparently walked out. And I know we don't want to. I know we don't want to fuel rumors.
No, he hasn't.
We don't want to fuel rumors. All right, I'm not fueling rumors. I'm just putting it on the table.
Yeah.
All right. Rumors are.
You've heard that? Yeah.
Rumors are he's walked out.
As if he would want a job to Reigns.
Which look, I mean, do you blame him?
No, I don't.
Do you blame him? If
blame him.
If at the end of the day, 3 days from now, we found out, oh, Brock Lesnar has actually walked out from the company, they vacated the Universal title, would we sit back and be like, oh, well, fuck, we're kind of surprised about that?
No.
Like, no.
And then you just put, is that the reason Braun has nothing to do yet?
That's
they're saving,
because
they're like just putting him in like a holding pattern.
That news broke like a week ago, where it's like they're keeping Braun in and out of the IC picture at the moment because they can insert him in essentially whenever they want.
Yeah.
But it's at a point where they gave him that strong Elimination Chamber showing to a point where he could theoretically just walk up to Reigns and be like, I want in. And then on Raw, Kurt Angle goes, fine, beat Reigns, and then you get in, and then he just beats Reigns. It's a simple push. Right? And then people would actually buy it because they've done the groundwork for it. And yeah, so like the reports are that Braun Strowman is the secret kind of weapon. If in a world where Brock Lesnar doesn't comply, they do a strip of something and you go Strowman versus Reigns main event for the vacant title, I think is the idea. Right. Otherwise, Strowman goes into the IC match.
Yeah. Putting that like what you heard aside, before you heard that, percentage you think Brock actually re-signs?
None.
He's
100% going to UFC.
I give it like 20% because it's easier on his body. It's probably more money in the long term, and it's job security.
No, I would.
He loves his land. He just wants more land, man. He loves his land.
The man loves his land, and if he loves his land as much as he does, UFC would give him more money. Think about it. I know we're not a UFC podcast, but think about it.
But like him going back to UFC, like
the UFC heavyweight division right now,
he goes back as a massive star.
Complete shambles.
It's not in complete shambles.
Who's the champion?
Stipe.
It's trash.
Stipe's awesome.
Better than Brock Lesnar?
Yeah. A better fighter than Brock Lesnar? Fuck yeah. Brock Lesnar can grapple. He can't punch for shit. He can't take a punch for shit. Stipe doles out those fucking big haymakers. He put down Yoel Romero, or he outlasted Yoel Romero, who was like, you look at the guy and you're just like, that is a robot built by humans that is specifically designed for killing people. And Stipe, who looks like a guy with a dad bod, put him down. Stipe is a fucking good fighter, and he would take Brock Lesnar, and I think he would put him down in 3. Yep.
You are insulting.
I'm not insulting. Lesnar. Who had Brock?
When Brock Lesnar entered the UFC, did he use his current theme song?
No, he is like whatever. Because that theme song belongs to WWE. They're not giving it up.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, that's what I thought. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Brock Lesnar, you think about who he beat in UFC. Yeah, he beat Randy Couture at the end of Randy Couture's career. Yes, he beat Cain Velasquez. Right. Yes, he beat Frank Mir. But he lost to a bunch of guys who were up and coming, younger guys than him. He lost. He left. He had diverticulitis. I understand that. But he left. He came back. He beat Mark Hunt.
Allegedly.
He failed his drug test afterwards, but even that fight was a messy fight. Like I watched and I was like, it's fine. But he just got on top of fucking Mark Hunt the entire time and just ground and pound and had fucking top control. It was a pretty boring fight. He comes back and he faces Stipe, a guy who has been not out of the business, but in the business, winning fights, defending that title for a very long time. I don't see how Brock wins. I don't see in any scenario how Brock wins.
I argue Brock wins. But
maybe
we're a wrestling podcast, Ricki.
Maybe you do that super fight with him and John. I'm getting off topic here, but maybe you do that super fight with him and John Jones. That's it. That's the only thing I can see. Like, I don't see him coming back and like he failed his last drug test. I know he's still Brock Lesnar, he's still a superstar, but he goes back to that company as a tainted fighter. He comes into WWE as the legitimate badass from UFC, but he goes back to that company and people don't forget. Like John Jones went from being one of the biggest crowd favorites of all time. People loved him because he was so goddamn good at what he does. 1 arrest and 2 failed drug tests later, and people are like, I'm sick of John Jones. So I don't know how Brock goes back to that company, pulls the paycheck that he used to, like that he got paid for the Mark Hunt fight because he did fail his last drug test. And I don't see how he legitimately A, goes for the belt, or B,
he doesn't go for the belt first bout.
I know, but like the only other thing left for him to do is super fights, and that's fine, and it's a big payday. But like, I see him better off in WWE because he's always going to be a top guy. He's always going to get the best paycheck of anybody, and he doesn't have to work. He works like fucking 15 days a year. That's it. The rest of the time he can go out hunting, looking at his land. I see it like that. It's such an interesting topic right now because a lot of people had the same discussions coming up to WrestleMania 31.
Yeah, very true. Then he did. Yeah.
But like all the stuff he said on his interview at SportsCenter was like, I respect. I don't know whether he likes the company, but I think he respects the company. He respects Vince McMahon. It's easier on his body. He is getting old. He's 40 something now.
Dude, he's just 40.
Okay, he's just 40.
But this is what I'm saying. That's he's just 40.
That's when seasoned fighters who have been doing UFC or doing mixed martial arts for years start to hit that little downhill. Like they're not.
But he hasn't been doing. This is what I'm saying. Like he could still gun for it.
Yeah, no, but his body's probably in better shape than a lot of those fighters because they've been fighting, but their bodies are also conditioned to be fighting for that long. Whereas his body is like, yeah, he's jacked and he's huge, but he's not in camp. He's just working out. There's a difference between being...
But camp for him would be 10 months.
I know, like he has time to sort of like, he has to still serve the rest of his drug suspension and that sort of stuff. But I don't know, man. Like
this is why
it's such like you say 0%. You say 100% he's going back.
Because...
Is there no little bit of doubt in your mind that
fine,
he might
look, all right, fine. I'll give you 10, all right?
10,
but I'll give you
take
10% on the sole fact that you got to think, okay, aside... There's a lot of... Okay. Let me just collect my thoughts.
Woosah.
All right? Let me just collect my thoughts.
Woosah.
I agree with every point you just made, Rick.
Thank you.
Easier on the body.
But...
Could arguably be more money.
Yeah, it would be.
But at the end of the day, I think...
Brock wants to fight.
There's Brock wanting to fight, and then he does have a genuine... I think he has genuine more passion for the UFC than he does WWE. That's not to say that...
no, 100%.
100% does,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There isn't... And I know it's a blasphemous thing to say, but it's becoming rather evident. There just isn't much more stock left in a Brock Lesnar kind of main event bout. Theoretically long-term in WWE. Maybe give him 2 more pay-per-views where he does a rematch for the Universal if he wants to, and then just a big bout. But aside from that, he's not going to be a champion again.
No, fuck no.
Right? He's not going to be a champion again.
No.
He held it for a year. There's no way Brock wins it and then just drops it like 2 months later. He won't sign on for like that kind of date schedule, right? The WWE is arguably sick of having their biggest belt. They're going to call it their biggest belt now. Their biggest belt not on their biggest show week in and week out.
Yes.
Because it's a crumbled main event scene, and it's been rather evident, and especially evident since late last year.
I think the problem is since late last year, he has fought a subset of the same guys over and over and over again.
And not necessarily...
Aside
as
from,
much as we blame WWE for that, for not cycling in and out main eventers, it's kind of Brock Lesnar sitting there going, well, realistically, who am I going to fight aside from Braun Strowman being like Braun Strowman or Roman Reigns? Because he's shut Finn Balor out immediately when it came to Rumble.
I can give you three fights that I think he has to do before he leaves the company.
Was it Bobby Lashley?
Okay, Bobby Lashley, that was not one. That's 4 fights. Bobby Lashley is one. The rematch with Shinsuke.
Okay.
They fought in New Japan.
Yeah, no, they did too. Yeah.
They fought in New Japan, and I need to see that match in WWE now. That they are both completely different to who they were when they fought.
You throw a Shinsuke Nakamura who's about to win the WWE title, and you
most likely
feed him. Are you saying would you feed him the Brock Lesnar?
No, I say.
Or is Brock Lesnar coming out there saying I'm going to do the job to Shinsuke?
I say that's his last match before he leaves.
Doing the job?
Doing the job to Shinsuke Nakamura.
I don't see Brock Lesnar ever signing on to do the job.
I think he would. He's a weird guy.
He is a weird guy, and he does
the,
understand the respect for the industry.
He does. He has
your final match, blah blah blah. But it would theoretically be to someone that he would pick himself, and I don't think he has that kind of respect.
No, I see him picking Shinsuke.
I don't see him going
like we
that
have
kind of respect. If
anything,
anything,
he's also
he
a businessman.
He would lose to a Strowman or an AJ at this point.
Okay, but like, and it's the weird thing because you look at that match with AJ. That was the best match he's had in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe the WrestleMania against Goldberg, that was so much fun.
That was actually a really good match.
From a match perspective, like structure and psychology and how you actually put a match together, the AJ match is by far the best he's had.
Yeah.
For a very long time. He was selling for the calf crusher.
It's the only time in the last 2 years, aside from Strowman matches, where he's visibly sold.
Yeah,
and
pretty
put
much
effort into a match where both sides put effort into the match, and it's one of those matches. Because Brock Lesnar matches, I give the man credit. The man, it's not like we don't want to see a Brock Lesnar match. It's just that we don't want to like have to be forced to see like.
Suplex.
No,
Suplex.
But this man stronghold a division, right? Where he's got a division chokeholder because he's holding the belt, or because he's a prominent member in the main event scene. Let him come in and out and do
That's what I'm saying, like dream matches.
Right?
Just come in and do these matches against people he hasn't faced before.
That it's not like we're not sitting there going, "Fuck, we wouldn't want to see Lesnar versus Cena again." Even if it was just like,
I would be happy.
You came back three weeks before Survivor Series, and it was just, I'm not finished with you yet. And then you have that bout, right? And look, it's a once-off. He does the main event for it, and everyone backstage gets salty. But you still have your belt there. You have people that you're cycling out week in, week out on television. Brock Lesnar just comes in that once or twice a year.
I don't give a fuck if like the title's on the line for a Shinsuke Brock Lesnar fight. It's still going on last.
Yeah, no shit. Even if there's no belt on the title,
yeah, that's fine. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it goes on last. But that's what I'm saying. If Brock Lesnar's in the building, he goes on last.
Yes, for sure.
And that's been and it's good and bad. It's good and bad.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
But okay, so Shinsuke is one.
Yep.
You said Bobby Lashley. I think that needs to happen as well.
Well, he's reportedly signed.
Allegedly.
So allegedly.
We'll see what happens.
But if he has signed, and then the reports were, he's going to go in the program with Lesnar, but now like if Lesnar's going to leave,
there's nothing for him to do.
No, not really. Because, look, do you see Lashley having a long stint in the company again?
No.
You reckon he signed on for a part-time kind of basis?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Number 2. I just don't see like the only thing he didn't achieve when he was here the first time was win the WWE title. But I
would argue he didn't win any world title. I know he had the ECW one, but
that's why I'm saying he didn't win the WWE world title, which is the belt. The ECW title can get fucked. But I just, aside from that, and aside from some cool matches that we haven't seen before, I don't see any point for him to come to WWE because I don't see him as a main event. I see him as a main event guy, but I don't want to see him with the title for 6 months.
He's someone that you can insert into the main event kind of instantly, but then he should be. But this is the problem. I've mentioned it before, but this is the problem. They have a habit of inserting guys instantly, which isn't the main problem, but it's the idea that they've inserted them and then never take them out.
Yep.
Right? If you're going to look at someone like Bobby Lashley, I guess in theory it's like, yeah, we'll insert him into the main event, but then you have to take someone out.
Let him have other feuds. Did he have a feud with Cena?
Oh, I got no idea.
Like a long sustained feud.
The only feud I know he had
Umaga.
Was Umaga.
Yeah.
Like that is literally, and full credit. Great feud.
Yeah.
Great feud.
Yeah.
Good matches. Umaga could work.
Did he ever fight Taker?
No.
He didn't fight Taker?
He was in the company for what, 2 years?
Something like that. I swear
he was US champion.
Yep. And he was ECW.
And then he got switched to ECW for whatever reason.
Who the fuck did he
stunt it?
Big Show or some shit?
Yeah, I know he fought Big Show because he beat Big Show for the ECW title.
No, he won the ECW title, that stupid Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, did he?
Extreme Elimination Chamber, which was like one of the worst. It was the reason that Paul Heyman got fired.
Was it the December to Dismember?
Yeah. It was the reason.
It's one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
20,000 buys or some shit like that. That's terrible. That's real bad.
The worst pay-per-view of all time.
Number 2. Aleister Black.
Yeah, okay.
Aleister Black versus Brock.
That's a dark horse one, but I respect it.
But Aleister Black, legit MMA background as well.
Yeah. You'd have a fight on your hands.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a guy who is obviously not afraid to like get in there, get physical with a guy, and that Black Mass finisher, I fucking love it to death.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna put you over for that.
Yeah,
Aleister Black, good pick.
Aleister Black,
and in the perfect booking wrestling world, he's the up and comer. You'd have to say to yourself, "Well, Brock, do the job. Do the job."
Exactly. Like he just Aleister Black just put down Killian Dane this week on NXT.
Yeah,
and it was a squash match up until that Black Mass came out. They're selling that finisher so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
Because it was like Killian Dane had him for the majority of the match, then Aleister Black whack, one black mass, you're on your back, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like they are pushing that finisher really fucking hard at this point.
So I'm just gonna go on. I'm just gonna watch the black mass finisher.
Yeah, I'll do it. It's
just so
good. And then last one. As much as I'd love to say I want to see Samoa Joe actually have a proper match with Brock Lesnar, and he's like the guy that I think should have beaten Lesnar, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just so clean.
It is so clean. A guy that I think, like 5 years ago, this would not have happened, but Drew McIntyre.
Nah, dude, come on.
Why not?
I don't think
you look at the guy. He's six.
Look, oh yeah, he's sick. Look at the guy.
He's right, 6 something, like what, 6'8",
yeah, look,
6'9".
Right. Oh yeah, look
he's
at
huge,
the guy.
And he's legitimate now. He comes back to the company.
He still hasn't got a gimmick.
Straight into the main event scene in NXT. He is right now.
He is one of those guys.
He is right now what Vince McMahon wanted him to be when he was the chosen one. He is charisma. He is willing. He is the talent. He is just fun.
I'm going to start the first Australia Mania betting pool.
Oh, God, here we go. You realize this is like one step away from us cutting out a bit of cardboard and making a championship, right?
I know. And look, let's be serious, Ricky. That's where we're going.
That's probably going to happen.
I'm surprised we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to start the first Australia Mania betting pool.
Okay.
And I'm actually not vocal, but I'm standing behind this a lot. Drew McIntyre will not translate well on the main roster.
Okay.
Will not. Okay. Yeah, you look.
Show you're working. Show you're working.
The sole fact that we're not going to forget what he was when he was there last time is not. It's not something that we're going to sit back and be like, haha, chosen one.
Back
commentary might.
The fuck.
That was only 1 point.
I'm going to refute that point right now.
All right, go on.
What was Drew McIntyre right before he left the company?
ICO tag champion.
No. He was part of a
the
3-man band.
Yeah, okay.
What has another member of that 3-man band done?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we going to try and break into the Scotland market now?
After going away.
Yeah? Is that what we're doing?
Reinventing himself and coming back.
So WWE backstage right now, they're having a discussion. So the India one failed. We tried to break into the India market. Yo, you know what's next? Scotland. Scotland has a huge market that we actually haven't even capitalized. Despite the fact that we've had an Irish champion in both world title scenes, which they're kind of similar. But you know what? We haven't touched the Scottish market yet. Let's bring Drew McIntyre up and just feed him and just give him to AJ.
I'm just saying you can have someone leave the company.
No, that's it. You look,
change who they are, come back, and have people have a very different perception of them. I have a different perception of Jinder right now.
Yeah, so do I.
He is a very upper mid card.
Are they going to do that again?
I say it would be better to do it with Drew McIntyre than it would have been to do with Jinder.
They're never going to do that again.
I think you know what? As much as the Jinder thing was dumb and it was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? It was something different.
It was different.
It was something that they don't usually do that. They tried something, and I respected them for trying it.
And for the smarks out there, it worked because now we love Jinder.
Exactly.
But in terms of goddamn revenue, when he was their world champion on SmackDown,
I know.
And you want to talk about how they're a publicly traded company and how they're not going to switch from PG back to whatever bullshit, and you're sitting here telling me they're going to do another Jinder stunt again.
It's not a Jinder. Like, you look at the guy; he won titles in like all the major indie promotions that all the smarks fucking love watching.
Who, Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
came back.
Okay, this is what I'm saying to you. When I say not translate well over to the main roster, I literally mean he's not going to be a main eventer.
I find that so hard to believe. He was so believable as the champion. He was so believable as the champion.
And I want to say Finn, but I really don't want to say Finn.
It's up in the air still.
How many NXT champions have gone on? Oh, now I'm thinking further back. There is Seth Rollins. There is Seth Rollins. There is Kevin Owens.
Yep.
But you've got to look at the pool of NXT champions. The Adrian Nevilles, the Sami Zayns,
the Bo Dallases.
And you got to say to yourself,
yeah, I know.
At the end of the day,
it's tough.
I would have higher stock on Almas over Drew McIntyre.
Almas is sick, dude. Dude can do crazy shit.
You bring up Cien Almas and Drew McIntyre at the same time, Almas gets the bigger push.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It goes from being a Triple H thing to being a Vince thing. And who do you think Vince is going to look at?
But that's
the chosen one?
Yeah.
Or Alberto Del Rio Jr.? Who is he going to look at?
Alberto Del Rio Jr. I need to.
He's short Alberto.
That is so insulting to Thomas.
No, but like I can see Vince just being like, you know, that.
Okay, and look. That's
but apparently, no. Do you the fucking thing? They're thinking about bringing Alberto Del Rio back.
Yeah, I saw that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Why?
He might actually be one of the worst world champions to ever come out of the company.
Like he's a guy who has a.
Oh wait, no, haven't I said this? No, Alberto Del Rio is the worst multiple-time world champion in history.
Sheamus.
No. Sheamus was legitimately dominant when he had the belt, and you could.
Which time? Not last time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember a single one of Alberto Del Rio's three.
Cashing in on Punk.
WWE, and that ruined the summer of Punk.
I know it did, but I still remember it.
You think that's a good thing?
Not particularly, but he won the fucking title for some reason, and then Cena had it, then he had it again, then
the
Punk
only Sheamus run that sucks is literally his last run, and that was a forced kind of like,
it was terrible.
Let's get it done kind of thing, right?
Let's get Roman over.
Every time he's won that world title, aside from the one world title one he had against Daniel Bryan, they have been legitimate.
Yes. Okay.
And he is like a 6-time.
I will. The first one he won against Cena in a tables match.
But that was a good push.
But they fell off the fucking turnbuckle and Cena just happened to fall. I think was that a botch? Did anyone ever confirm if that was a botch or not?
I might need to watch that match again. I know the match. I know the match.
Because they were on the turnbuckle and they just sort of fall off. But Sheamus falls with Cena, but Cena's back is the one that breaks the table first.
Could just be a good work.
It could have been, but it looks like something like
work.
Sheamus should have held onto the top rope or something like that, and he just fell off with Cena, but Cena broke the table first. It was very much a 2005 Royal Rumble deal.
Yeah.
Where it was like, this probably wasn't supposed to happen.
Don't you shoot on Sheamus. While we're talking about Sheamus some more, his final bout with Jericho when they were in the Rumble. I know we all wanted Jericho to win because we're thinking this is Jericho's time, but that Sheamus versus Jericho might actually be the best one-on-one final two in a Rumble.
Yeah.
You can't tell me in the moment that you weren't worked. Where both men could arguably have won that match, right? And there hasn't been any reports behind it because, like, well, one, given the time, and two, like, two of these men both had, like, their merits and tickets to WrestleMania at that point anyway. But they had put on a bout for, like, 5 to 7-ish minutes of complete false finishes, here and there, finishes, blah, 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 blah. And then just Jericho falls out. And it wasn't even a gimmick push out from Sheamus, where they run at you and you pull the rotten rope down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll fighting out of the ring on the top rope and then just you got Jericho over.
Yeah.
Right. And then Sheamus wins. And it's just like you got proper worked. And in terms of a one-on-one bout, it was even probably better than some of the matches on the card.
I would argue 2007 Shawn Michaels Undertaker final two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Pretty fucking good final two.
Yeah, all right.
Which led into which pretty much was like the catalyst.
And that was kind of like
it was the catalyst for their feud going forward.
Yeah.
And it was pretty friggin' awesome.
All right, fuck you. All right.
Sorry, mate. I just watched the 2008 Rumble recently and it was like they talked about because they were the first two and it's like the final two of last year's Rumble are the first two of this Rumble. So I'm just like, I'm gonna go back and watch 2007. Watch that. I'm just like, that was fucking good.
Taker won that one, yeah?
Yeah, Taker won, fought Edge. And then
Shawn went on to fight Cena?
Shawn went to fight Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was...
That Shawn Cena feud was fucking sick, dude.
So good. Oh, no, sorry. Batista fought... Sorry, but it was Batista that thing I took on. Undertaker fought Batista.
Oh, yeah, because it was 20... Edge in 2009.
Yeah, that's right. The year later. 2 years later. No, wait.
2009.
No, 22...
Edge
So that was WrestleMania 23. WrestleMania 24 was Ric Flair's final match and Edge beat... No, Undertaker beat Edge. Yeah. Stop taking selfies.
I'm not taking selfies.
With your dumb selfie face.
You prove it. That's what I fucking thought. There's no cameras on this podcast.
No, there's not. But like,
can't prove shit.
I can just tell people that you're taking a selfie and they'll believe me. Anyway, I actually, I have news. I actually have like a mini news segment.
Oh shit! Okay.
Did you?
Did Michael just send you this now? Or?
No. Did you?
Is that Tinder there?
Did no, it was YouTube. Did you happen to catch?
Are you expecting a Tinder?
Did you? No. Did you happen to catch what Michael Cole said on Raw this week?
I did.
You did?
I did.
It is official. They're doing a stadium tour of Australia. We reported on this a few podcasts ago.
Yep.
That there was rumors that they're going to do a show at the MCG. That is pretty much all but been confirmed at this point. They're going to reveal it at WrestleMania that it's probably going to be a pay-per-view. It's probably going to be at the MCG. And we're definitely going, aren't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would actually...
We're going to try and get like broadcast side so we can like have a sign, listen to the Australian Mania podcast, have it up throughout the entire pay-per-view.
We're going to be hustling hard.
Oh, mate.
We're going to put Michael on the airwaves. We're going to get Michael to contact these guys. Honestly, I think if we hustle from this point on, I want to be on that. I want to be on the broadcast team. Mate. I want to petition to WWE.
Mate, I mean, come on, like
I know you have like
there's
your
realism
American.
and then there's realism.
I know you have your American commentators and they commentate everything, but I honestly think that you should have. You know how they do the gimmick like, oh, here's the Chinese, here's the Spanish.
Yeah.
You got to have Australian there and let the Australians broadcast.
Do you know what
in their
Americans
own kind
do?
of way.
Do you know what Americans do? They speak English.
I know, but they don't speak Australian.
Oh, it's a bloody top rope 450 we got. You know? Wait, can we say the word cunt?
Oh,
is that right?
They got to give us some rights
Yeah.
and just let us broadcast to like Twitch, right? And just that's it, right?
AJ fucking Styles.
Yeah, let us run the Australian commentary. We'll straight up. I just want to pitch it straight up to Vince. Look, Vince, I don't care. You don't have to throw us on television. Just let us sit beside you guys and broadcast on Twitch, all right? And let us go Australian commentary and watch how much viewership you get on that.
Yep. No, I'm all for that. Yeah, maybe. But you know, it's
official.
It's official. It's officially unofficial, but it's going to happen. So the rumor is it's going to be at the MCG. 100,000 people are going to pack out that stadium. It's going to be so fucking good.
You reckon they'll sell it? You reckon they'll sell it out?
They'll get close.
They'll get close.
They'll come out.
What's
and say,
their record now? It's 70 something.
No. They did allegedly 101 at AT&T at WrestleMania 32.
Is AT&T the biggest stadium? What's the biggest stadium in the world?
Oh, it's in Pyongyang. It's in North Korea.
Of course it is.
No, WCW did shows there back in like the 80s or 90s.
How big is it?
I think it's like 250,000. It's massive.
Are you fucked?
But WCW sold it out. I'm pretty sure. Look it up. There's like a North Korea WCW show, and it's like the largest pro wrestling audience of all time. Like nothing is ever going to beat it unless they somehow go back to North Korea to this stadium, because the stadium's massive. Like it's their soccer stadium, but it sells out huge crowds. Well, at least it did when they had a soccer team. Can you find it?
I'm sussing.
You sussing? Good boy.
Just going to type in North Korea WCW.
Yeah.
Collision in North Korea.
Yeah.
Officially known as the Pyongyang International Sports and Culture Festival was a professional wrestling pay-per-view. All right, let me suss.
Yeah. It's like Ric Flair was there. Like the whole like WCW was there. It was crazy.
I just want to get attendance.
I wonder if something.
Holy shit!
What was the attendance?
Oh no, that's total.
Yeah, it was over 2 days, I think.
Yeah.
What was the attendance?
Well, they sold total of 355,000.
Yep.
But day 165 and day 2 190,000.
Yeah,
that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
What?
The stadium is massive. So yeah, that's like the largest pro wrestling audience ever. Nothing's ever going to top that. WWE will say that they sold 100 and something thousand tickets to AT&T. It
has a capacity of 114,000.
That's seating. Then you include the floor.
Oh yeah.
So like they could,
because it's a wrestling event. Jesus, what the fuck? How?
Like WWE could potentially have on offer 110,000 tickets, because you take out whatever portion of the stadium you need for the stage.
Yeah.
But then you add that plus more onto the ground.
There's a lot of logistics that can go wrong with the G2 though. Like,
what do you mean?
No roof.
Rain. Yeah, rain is
no
a big
roof,
one.
especially in the time of the year.
October.
It's a wrestling event, so there's one squared circle in the middle of that venue of a cricket ground, where it's oval in nature.
But like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you look at, they do it on bloody North American football grounds all the time, and they're like weird shaped.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, like that, they'll be able to work it out. They've done concerts at the MCG, and they managed to work that out. So
yeah, like you can't tell me that wrestling and I thought that was my phone, bro. No. There's a difference between broadcasting a wrestling show and going to it and broadcasting a concert and going to it. Like,
yeah.
You know, when you go to watch a wrestling show, yet you have to watch what you're seeing on the screen, you might as well have kind of gone home.
Yeah, but there's like the atmosphere as well.
No, yeah, and I give you the atmosphere, but like,
because like I've been like when they do the tour here, like they do Rod Laver, which sells out about 17,000, and it sells out every year in Melbourne,
and it sells out easy, Rod Laver, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. But like I've been in the nosebleeds and I've been third row for that show.
Yeah. Two different crowds.
Yeah, but like because it's such a small show, there's no cameras, so there's no screen to look at.
Yeah,
and even I know Rod Laver is a much smaller ground than the MCG. Even in the nosebleeds, I was still watching the action in the ring, managing to follow along which wrestler was who, with no problems. And even then, my eyesight was bad and didn't have glasses. Third row obviously was completely fucking different because you're hearing John Cena call all these spots in the ring.
He has got to be one of the loudest spot callers
he fucking
of all
is,
time.
man. He is.
Him and that Rumble dude, that was fucked.
Yeah. Fucking
Fan. No, it was a Shin. He was screaming one of their names. And he's going, now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, New Japan's funny, man. They are loud. You go back and watch Kenny Okada 1.
Yeah.
And but they don't say what move they're doing. They just say their names.
Oh, no, I don't.
Getting ready for a spot. So you just see Okada go, Kenny. And then you hear like Kenny just go, Okada. Just like, but they got the spots. They know what spots they're doing, but they're just like getting ready for the spot. They just call out each other's name.
Yeah.
It's very different over there.
Kenny.
Nah, man. The most annoying chick was fucking Wrestle Kingdom 11, I want to say. Tanahashi versus Naito for the IC belt.
Yeah.
And there's this bitch front row near like the arena microphone just going, Tana! All fucking match.
Dude, it was the same thing with the main of it was Naito! Naito! And then the Kenny!
Oh my God.
And just Chris Jericho, as soon as he heard it, immediately jumped onto it too, which is amazing.
Shut up.
The man's a worker. No, because he grabbed it and he was just like, and he just started bitching to the guy. Kenny! Yeah, you want Kenny? Oh, I love Jericho. It's a shame that he's only a better Miz.
Oh, don't even fucking start with that shit again, mate. Fuck you. But yeah, no, so that's kind of crazy, man. Like, they're coming to Australia. They're probably going to do a pay-per-view at 100. Like, it'll be because, like, the biggest crowd they've had outside of the US, the WWE has, was at Wembley.
Yeah, Wembley.
SummerSlam 92, whatever it was.
And that was like
80. Yeah. It was 83 or 82.
I was discussing the logistics with someone the other day. And look, let's say they have 110 on offer and they want to sell it.
They can put more screens up anyway.
They could, right? But like, let's say they want to sell at MCG. It's a pay-per-view on very, very, very foreign soil.
Yes.
In a market that you want to say is really huge.
Do they pre-tape or do they go live?
I'm getting to it all.
Okay.
I would say they have to go live. It's a pay-per-view.
Oh, man, wrestling during the day sucks.
They'd go live here.
Yeah.
At 7.
Wait. So I'm saying, are you
is that pre-tape for what do you mean by pre-tape and live?
Like, as in, like,
it's live for us at normal time.
Well, obviously,
it's not,
it's going to be live for us because we're going to be there.
Yeah, but it's not live at 10 o'clock in the morning because it's going to air live 7 normal time America.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be live 7 for us, and they're going to have to like.
So it's going to be tape delay.
Tape delay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Which is what they do for the Raw in London every year.
Yeah,
because the time difference is so bad. Because like I think if they wanted to go live,
it's almost as bad here though.
On the East Coast, Raw goes live at I think 6 or 7 in the clock at night. For them to go live from London would mean London would be up at 4 in the morning doing the show. That ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
So here, that's the time difference. So for the LA,
but that's a Raw.
I think
this is a pay-per-view.
I think the LA feed is 4 in the afternoon. I think it starts. For us, pay-per-views usually start about 10 a.m.
Yeah.
10 or 11 a.m. So to go live to the West Coast for a 4 p.m. Sunday start, so that's, I think, pre-show, we will be up at 10 in the morning at the MCG.
Look,
which means it would be bright. It would be fucking daylight.
Yeah, and the G has no roof.
Has no
so
roof.
like that's the biggest problem there.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, it's not if they're sitting to themselves going, if that's the one thing wrong with it, then we're going to be okay with it because it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's not like it's 4 o'clock.
They did WrestleMania 31 mostly in daylight.
They did, right? Or they had to wait until for Taker's match.
Yeah, I know. And even that was like twilight, wasn't even properly dark.
But if that's the only problem they're having, then if I'm Vince, I'm sitting there going, well, it's just 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, people are awake.
It's
care. Not like it's 4 a.m.
We don't give a
big
fuck.
Difference.
We will still be there.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's wrestling during the day, and if you sit in the wrong spot, the MCG, you're gonna have the sun in your eyes for most of that. But apart from that, it's fine.
Yeah. In the perfect world, we air at 7 here, 7, 8.
Yeah, because I mean, that's not because we have this thing in Australia called daylight savings, which I don't know if anyone else in the world has it, but at certain times of the year, the sun doesn't go down in Melbourne until 9:30 at fucking night.
Nah, dude, when it comes down to October, it's down by 6.
I know. It's different because there's daylight savings hasn't kicked in yet or is about to kick in.
Oh, we just entered autumn, didn't we? No, spring. Wait, spring. Yeah.
Because usually like footy, because it's going to be 1 week after the AFL Grand Final.
Yeah.
So it's going to be first Saturday or first weekend in October.
Yeah.
Which is usually about the time that daylight savings kicks back into gear.
Yeah.
Which means it could be either right on the borderline of that or like a week before.
Either or that time of year the sun does set
relatively early.
Yeah. So we're looking at either a 6 or 7, which becomes twilight at that point. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So
I guess we're just splitting hairs.
I know. It just depends whether they want to have it live all around the world.
I say it's live.
Okay.
It has to, obviously,
obviously spoilers would be big.
Yeah,
because we'll be like there in the stadium, like, live tweeting.
Yeah, this is where logistics comes in. If they want to sell out a pay-per-view, one, you're bringing big talent over. This is the first big pay-per-view in Australia, right? It's going to be multi-branded, so you're going to have the AJs, you're going to have Cena's, you're going to have Rousey, you're going to have Shinny, right? And you're going to be doing all this. 2, there's going to be a title change. I say Reigns drops the Universal at that point.
Ooh, boy. I don't want him to have it for that long, but okay.
I say he drops the Universal at that point.
All right.
That's the big title change. And I say Buddy Murphy goes over for the Cruiserweight. And you get that Australian pop.
Woo!
Cedric Alexander's going to hold it.
Is Emma going to come?
Huh?
Is Emma going to come? Oh, yeah. She got fired. She's fighting Brandy Rhodes at one of the Ring of Honor shows.
Oh, the Women of Honor one?
Yeah. It's a
Ring of Women?
Both.
I thought Ring of Honor now separated. It's Ring of Honor and the Women of Honor.
I think it's like I think it's their 16th anniversary show. It's gonna be Brandy Rhodes versus
the iconic duo would be there.
Whatever her name is, Tennille Dashwood or whatever.
Tennille Dashwood. Yeah,
is that her actual name? Yeah. So she's going under, she's fighting Brandy Rhodes.
She's going under Tennille Dashwood, and then like they're doing it cheekily with formerly known as Emma. I think is how they.
Well, I mean, like when
they intro it,
when
or they graphic it at least that way.
Yeah, like it's when Hornswoggle left. He just called himself Swoggle.
Lad.
Yeah. And then like when the Spirits, because like at House of Hardcore last year, who was there? So it was MVP. He was still going under MVP.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger was Jack
Swaggle.
Jack Swoggle. No, it was like, oh fuck.
But MVP still goes by MVP though. So like, he has his own.
But he can just say that MVP stands for something different than Montel Vontavious Porter. Because that was his real name.
No, I know.
Not his real name, but that was like his supposed name.
I know.
So if he's just MVP, that's a different name.
Oh, did they? Oh, so did they not have the trademark on the Abbrevo?
I don't know. And then
Sus.
The Spirit Squad were there, but they were just the squad, but they were still Kenny and Mikey.
Yep.
And then who else changed their name? Who else? Oh, Carlito was there, and he was still just Carlito. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Carlito is like his actual name. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Cody Rhodes is his actual name, but
it's Cody.
It's now Cody,
which is
despite the fact that
so disappointing.
Cody Rhodes is actually his name. Like, it's not to say the company can't actually trademark your name.
Because like John Cena is actually John Cena Jr. That's his birth name.
Yeah,
but his name in WWE is John Cena.
Yeah, no shit. But they have broken kayfabe before and been like, oh, there's John Cena Senior when his dad was on.
Yes.
Yeah, thus implying John Cena Jr. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, but at the end of the day, John Cena does own the rights to his own name because he has done movies where he's been John Cena. Like the WWE doesn't own.
Yeah, I wonder if you're like it'll get to the same situation where it's like John Cena in brackets Jr. Oh wait, no, if it was the other way around.
Do you reckon
it was always Dwayne, quotation The Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
So it would be quotation John Cena and then just Junior. Because that's the only part of his name that he owns.
No, because for the longest time, he started the Scorpion King as The Rock, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He did The Rock. But I don't know whether that was WWE granting license to...
I'm pretty sure it was, because at that point he was trying to push himself, but no one knew him as Dwayne Johnson, so it's like, well, I'm going to call myself The Rock because I'm the fucking Rock.
But I think I think when he started doing all the other stuff, he went by Dwayne The Rock, right? So he's still, in essence, he owns the Rock trademark.
Sure he does.
At this point, he would own the Rock trademark but it's just a personal choice now where he does movie. He just goes by Dwayne Johnson because he's at a point now where he can just sell himself on Dwayne Johnson. There's actually, and I refuse to acknowledge him as Dwayne Johnson as The Rock, but he has successfully separated the two personalities at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Right, he's managed to do it successfully.
Dwayne Johnson is the guy on Instagram that does all the cool workout stuff and on movies, and The Rock is the guy that comes out in WWE and buries young talent.
Don't you stiff The Rock like that.
What has he done the last couple?
He's come out. Don't you stiff?
He's
I'm
come
sorry.
out and he's
I'm sorry.
buried
No,
Bray Wyatt. He's buried Rusev.
I knew you were going to start with Bray Wyatt. I'm sorry. Bray Wyatt's buried himself.
No, he hasn't.
Bray Wyatt has buried himself.
Bray Wyatt, when he has the chance...
If anything, Bray Wyatt was buried when Cena buried him. And everyone else from that point on was just sprinkling dirt on top.
Whatever. Bullshit. I'm not having it.
I honestly forget.
I'm not having it.
Did you know this time last year, Bray Wyatt was world champion?
I know, and I was so happy. And I was so happy when he won the title. And then they projected bugs on the screen and Randy Orton won.
Which was the worst Mania match of all time.
Oh, it's one of that's up there. It's up there. It's not the worst. It's just frustrating.
It's the worst world title match in Mania history.
It's 18 seconds. Come on. Daniel Bryan.
No, but think about what it did.
I know what it did.
Think about what it did.
But like as a standalone match, it was fucking stupid.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. Fine.
But
think about what it did.
Actually, better one. WrestleMania 10 or WrestleMania 9. I think it was WrestleMania 9. The one where at Caesar's Palace in Vegas where Bret Hart loses to Yokozuna. Fucking
and then
Hulk Hogan comes in. It's like, I'll defend you, Bret, and then beats Yokozuna with one leg drop and wins a title.
Yeah, because
that was
you know the story of that.
Yeah, it was him. It was fucking Hulk Hogan politicking and shit. He would not lose to Bret, and so they had to like come up with some bullshit thing to get Hogan with the belt, and have Bret still lose. And it's like, oh fucker, that's just the dumbest thing ever. Anyway, Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, we'll cover them real quick.
Yeah?
We'll cover them real
quick.
What
are we at? Oh, just over an hour. That's not too bad. It's better than last week. Last week's was an hour and 40 fucking minutes.
Oh, yeah, but we started a bit late today, so.
We did. Raw was a thing that happened.
Can we talk about the Symphony of Destruction match first?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. That was fun. That was super fun.
Braun Strowman is honestly...
He lifted a car this week.
But this is what Braun Strowman might be... the best kind of gimmick that we've seen in a very long time, but not in terms of like gimmick, where he's like very one-sided, where you can only push him like if he's a demon, he can only be a demon, and he only has to do demon things. But Braun Strowman,
like run for mayor of Knoxville,
like. Kane is the exception. Kane's gimmick really changed when he went into Team Hell No and then started doing shit with that.
Oh man, Corporate Kane was one of my favorite things ever.
But it never comes. But that's a different gimmick.
I know, but
right?
he comes out in business slacks, but still the one glove.
Did he enter the Rumble as Corporate Kane?
He did. Yeah,
that was superb.
Fuck, I love Corporate Kane.
No, but Braun Strowman,
Yep.
because he's still in his infancy, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's they're still playing with his character.
Yeah.
But every time they play with it, it works, and it doesn't detract away from his dominance.
No.
Despite the fact that he's out there playing, like we discussed last week, playing with a fucking double bass, and then this one fucking around with Elias, arguably, in a very gimmicky match.
Yeah.
But still turned it on its head to show complete and utter dominance in a very fun way.
Yeah.
Now.
That look on his face when he's holding the car, just like,
my God, yes.
I have your car. Fuck you. I love him so much.
I love Braun Strowman. I'm very, very vocal about Braun Strowman being the best gimmick in the company.
He is, man. Like, why the fuck doesn't he have the title? He needs that title so goddamn. Like,
I really
okay,
hope-
actually, no.
I really hope Brock's walked out.
He doesn't need the title.
Oh, you said, but we all said the same thing about Bray Wyatt because of how good his gimmick was. He needed a belt after a while.
Yeah, but like,
there's
okay,
only
he's
so
the kind,
much.
He's the kind of guy that would, especially after Brock, and then Brock allegedly probably going to give it to Roman. He is a guy that, what is it that you don't, man doesn't make the belt belt makes, no, the belt doesn't make the man makes the belt.
It works two ways. A man either needs the belt or a man makes the belt.
He would make the belt.
He would make the belt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because that Universal title, let's face it, has had Finn for one day, Kevin Owens in what was probably a pretty good.
That's the thing with this. I was thinking about this the other day. The thing with the Universal belt is it's got character already.
It does.
It's first world champion. The inaugural champion lost it because of injury, and he hasn't had the chance to rematch.
No.
Second guy, good reign, good gimmick, and he did the Festival of Friendship with it. Like there was some good character development through that belt. Drops it to a legend in Goldberg. Goldberg has a run, drops it to Brock Lesnar in like after the storyline of Brock and Goldberg, like that.
Yeah.
It then takes on that. It takes on that personality at that point and finishes their feud. And then you have the year-long run with Brock Lesnar. It's had a lot of character.
It has, but I think it needs, aside from like the only solid reign that I feel, like solid reign as what a championship belt should be.
The only thing it needs now is multiple holders. So you need to have Reigns hold it for no longer than like 3 or 4 months, drop, and then pick it up 2 months later.
He has to drop it at SummerSlam.
He's got it. This is the thing with the Universal. Because now if they're going to give it to a full-time guy, you can do full-time things. He should drop it every 3 to 4, 5 months and not do another. You've had the year-long stint in that. Don't touch Brock Lesnar's reign for a while.
No.
Right? Don't even look at Brock Lesnar's reign for a while. Let it juggle between the Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and probably even Seth Rollins if he doesn't go to SmackDown. If not, then I'd give it to either Finn or Samoa Joe at that point.
Or AJ if he comes across.
AJ, there you go. AJ comes across. You got
AJ loves the red gear. Put him on the red belt.
He would actually look, and even then he makes the Universal belt. He makes.
But
the
I
Universal
think at this point, the person that has to sort of solidify that belt as what it should be is Braun Strowman. He's the guy that's going to put because people are going to be like, Roman's got the belt. Whoop-de fucking do. The company gave it to him.
Do you give Roman the belt and then let's say a month and a half later or 2 months later, give it to Strowman for a lengthy 3-4 months?
Roman chase. I would love this. I would love this.
Arguably, faces do, and if we're going to book Roman as faces do better as the chasers.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. But I would love if they did this, and this would be the most amazing thing ever. Raw after WrestleMania. Reigns v Strowman. Reigns drops to Strowman,
dude.
The night after WrestleMania. I would fucking love that. Or
dude.
even better.
I want that now.
Even better.
I want to live your dreams.
Even better. Strowman comes out.
I'm not finished.
Squashes Reigns. Not in a match, just kills Reigns. Then Carmella comes out and cashes in.
Oh, dude, was it me that brought it up the other week?
I think it was you.
I just said, where in the contract does it say that Carmella has to cash in on a women's title?
Yeah, nowhere. Nowhere does it say that. She comes out, she cashes in on Reigns. 1, 2, 3. She is the Universal Champion. James Ellsworth comes back and all is right with the world.
And there you quickly get rid of the world titles gimmick run.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Aside from Jinder Mahal's run.
Yeah.
Hasn't the WWE title ever had a gimmick run?
Bloody McMahon. Fucking Vince McMahon's had it.
Would you say that's a gimmick run though?
Yes. He didn't wrestle for it. He got given it, I'm pretty sure.
I know his ECW title reign was a gimmick. That was bad.
But no,
that's when you knew ECW.
He had the WWE title after it was stripped from Stone Cold.
Yeah,
and
but that worked within story. Like I wouldn't say it was a gimmick run.
It worked within story, but like it's
like I'm talking about a gimmick run where a kind of guy has
dude.
Won
the WWE title should not have had a gimmick run.
It shouldn't have. I'm not calling him McMahon. It felt.
Oh no, wait, no.
Don't say Rey Mysterio.
No. That was the world title anyway. But then he did have a kind of a gimmick run when he won it on
Raw and then lost
it on the same night. Bob Backlund had it in between. Was it Bob Backlund? Someone had it in between 2 massive Bruno Sammartino runs. I think, or was it
called them?
No,
runs.
was it?
Someone had to take it off. Bruno
Hulk Hogan runs. I can't remember. But there was a Bob Backlund feud. No, was it between
Ted DiBiase.
Did he have it? When did he have
He
it?
bought it and then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Off Andre.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
That was early in
I know
its
there's some fucking like 7-day Bob Backlund reign that was between two massive reigns of like, it was like Hulk or some, I can't remember. It's too much. It's too much history. But like, it's not a belt that should have gimmick runs.
It shouldn't. And look, and it's been in circulation for what, 50 something?
Yeah.
Like, considering if we having a trouble really thinking about gimmick runs, it's a good thing for the belt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, world
Sheamus.
titles, you got to have
any run Sheamus had with it.
Oh, you really? Why are we stiffing Sheamus?
I don't know. I feel like it. I'm annoyed. I am actually annoyed. Back to Raw. So that was the Symphony of Destruction. I loved it. The tag team match. What are Sheamus and Cesaro doing at WrestleMania?
You're getting Authors of Pain called up. They challenged them first match.
No, they're gonna be fucking busy with the They're
the
doing
night before.
I suppose.
They get called up. They challenge.
So we
they win.
Open challenge.
You open Mania with Sheamus and Cesaro coming out going, well, where's our match? Who's the guys backstage? You call up Authors of Pain.
Okay.
Authors of Pain enter the challenge after the God match that they have the night before.
Yeah.
And then I want to. You know what? You know what? I say they squash. Sheamus and Cesaro.
That interests me to a point, but at the end of the day, the Revival are better than the Authors of Pain. And
fuck
I feel
off.
they
fuck
are.
Off.
No,
fuck
fuck
off.
no, fuck
off.
you.
Fuck off. Nah,
they are.
No.
The matches that they had.
You're an idiot. No.
The matches they had in NXT were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, because of Authors of Pain.
No, because of DIY, because of the fucking American Alpha, because of all the teams they fought, because of the way they work together as a team.
Look, I'm not saying they're a bad tag team. I'm just saying Authors of Pain are better.
Authors of Pain are good.
They're great.
Okay, they're great.
They should have got called up 4 years ago.
They're great for being.
They should have actually never even gone to NXT.
No, they had to. Neither of them had wrestled before.
Yeah.
The fact that they've come so far in such a short time.
Who's their manager? James what's his name, dude? I was going to say Ellsworth, but I know it's wrong. Oh my god, I know he's a fucking god too. He's done this for a while. Oh, I'm retarded.
Paul Ellering.
Paul Ellering?
Yep.
Yeah. Him alone.
Oh no, dude, he can carry them as a mouthpiece, but they have needed this extra time to polish their in-ring.
How did I not know that?
To polish their in-ring work,
Fucking
but it has
retarded.
been polished. It has been fucking good as of late. But
all of the pain get called up. The reports are that they're going to fight a tag team that isn't even formed yet. Like, but I say
the Bucks called them out.
Oh,
they put up that post like no one's left, and the Bucks are just like, we got a day free. I'm just like, fuck man, that would be great.
Oh,
it's never gonna happen in a million years. But I'm like the Bucks are calling it out. I'm like, oh, it'd be so
you
good.
don't think Vince is sitting there going, let's get a one-night contract? Let's get a one-night contract?
Nah, because they would have to, because they've got exclusive contracts with
they do too.
Ring of Honor and New Japan. So they'd have to talk to Ring of Honor and New Japan to get them freed up for a night, which would not happen.
Just one
but
night.
I love when the Bucks call out people from Maine. Like they've called out New Day, they've called out fucking Revival, they've called out.
Wait, hasn't even New Day called them out as well?
Yeah, New Day. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
There's like, I love the social media nowadays.
There was a match with the Elite, so it was Kenny and the Bucks, and they came out wearing New Day clothes. Like they came out wearing the merch shirts and they had the cereal and everything.
No, I know the Bucks call them out, but hasn't New Day called out the Bucks as well?
Yeah. Back when the Elite was like just forming, or not just forming, but like just starting to get into the Western sort of consciousness, Xavier Woods dropped in a promo, "We are the Elite Tag Team," and that was like when the Bucks sort of first noticed what New Day were doing, and they were just like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And that's when like the rivalry kind of started. But like so New Day pretty much called out the Elite on TV, which was pretty funny. But yeah, no, the Revival need.
I reckon New Day has a bit of carte blanche.
Carte blanche.
Oh
hell yeah, hell yes. But I love the dynamic of them coming out and like throwing pancakes in the audience, and then you get like a
they can do whatever the fuck they want.
No, but then you get like a promo from Big E, and he just goes straight into like serious mode. And it's just like fuck yeah, this dude. I think we've had this out of those three.
I say Kofi, but I want Big E.
I want Big E.
Yeah,
Big E to have a world title.
I say they look at the end of the day. It could swing between Big E and Kofi for me. I don't think Xavier should do it. He's a good wrestler.
He's a damn good mouthpiece.
Great mouthpiece.
Damn
I don't
good.
think because obviously we're talking world title here.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be in contention for a world title.
I think I would love him to have a shot at a world title at some point.
I'd love them all to have a shot.
Oh yeah.
Not in the sense that like you do like a 6-pack challenge where three of them are New Day and then three
Gauntlet
of them are
match.
Oh.
So you have a champion And then there's a gauntlet match. Each member of the New Day has to like vie for the title. So if one loses, the next one comes in.
Yeah.
Do that. That'd be sick as.
Oh, that'd be fucking
Have
tight.
fucking be great against.
Why are we not booking SmackDown?
Oh, I don't fucking know, man.
Book a better fucking SmackDown than they booked this
But
week.
yeah. Okay, I want to talk about this for a sec before we wrap up. Rousey.
Yeah, good moment.
Are you at all like interested in this?
I am.
You are?
No, genuinely. I'm genuinely interested because I'm very future planning with this.
Okay, fair enough.
One, I'm interested not in the idea that it's a mixed match, mixed tag team match.
But no, just the Rousey experiment in general.
No, because keep in mind, it's still very, very much in its infancy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We don't know whatsoever what the longest term goal here is. Obviously, there's going to be a title reign in her future.
Probably, yes.
Which then means she will go in, like, then you break that down further and you go, well, she's going to go into a feud with a champion and then does champion things, right? But then you got to think of like the women's roster and just the kind of things that she can do there. Yeah, you'd be able to fill 2 years, but you wouldn't be able to fill out a career worth of wrestling.
No.
I'm very keen because I'm of the camp that I think the only problem she'll have with her career is promo work.
No shit.
That's the only problem she's going to have with her career. I think we might see some awkward bumps now, maybe some stiff kind of moves now.
That angle slam was a bit messy.
Angle slam / smile and drop, and you look at it and you go, yeah, like these. It's a new form of art from MMA, right? But she's an athlete.
She is.
All right, and she's a very, very well dedicated and trained athlete. It's not going to be hard for her to pick up the techniques and moves.
No.
Then after that, you pick up the selling of moves, right? So all of that that'll be like months, right? It's not going to be something that will never happen. It'll just be months of her of just working and working. She's got to do more house shows, got to do more TV time. But the only problem she'll have that if it doesn't get picked up now, won't get changed, is promo work.
Yes.
And I would have thought she would have been good at promo work considering her work in movies. But promo work
Have you seen her work in movies?
Oh, I have seen her work in movies. And look, fair enough.
Sounds like some people fucking in there.
But it's something that can just be pawned off to a Paul Heyman.
Yes, it can.
Right?
If he's got nothing to do after Brock goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's like still very much in the industry. If Brock leaves, he doesn't leave. Like that's not Paul Heyman. Like Paul Heyman will stick around because he loves the industry. I'd say you pair him with someone like Rousey. Yep. You do the whole UFC kind of gimmick. Like I only manage top tier athletes. And there you go. You've eliminated Rousey's biggest flaw.
I think
something that
right now she has to work out what to do in between her speaking parts or her action parts, because the big thing that stood out to me during this, like the promo and the scuffle in between, was whenever there was something happening that didn't involve her, she looked lost.
Yeah, and
completely and utterly lost in that ring.
But that was the same thing for every kind of new blood. Like Roman Reigns went through the same thing as well in his early infamousy.
But he had the backup of two guys who knew what the fuck they were doing.
And I would argue they're seemingly doing this on purpose too, giving the Rousey, like giving her not matches. Where
does your phone stop fucking ringing?
It never stops, dude. Seriously, I'm
Jesus
a very
Christ.
important businessman.
No.
It seems like they're doing it on purpose by not giving her, kind of like how they would do Baszler from NXT. Yeah, you don't give her promo time. You just throw her in the ring because she can fight. Like,
yeah, but she has done like promo work before and it's decent.
Yeah, but like, but she spends most of her time in the ring fighting. Rousey has none of that, right?
And she also has the advantage of being in NXT and have promo classes.
They're deliberately putting her on the immediacy of like television and giving her the promo stuff, and then not showing off her in-ring ability. Which I get it; they're saving it for Mania, right? Which should be fucking fine in theory. What was that?
A door just closed. Where the fuck did that? What the fuck? That was weird.
All right, good moment.
There's a ghost. Fuck.
Completely lost where I was. But yeah, like her in-ring work will improve no matter what. Yeah. It's the industry. They'll work on that first. Okay? Something like promo work they can pawn off. So I think I'm excited for Rousey because I know of her athletic background. I know very well of what she can do athletically, both in USC and like from like just general takedowns and grapples that she's shown from like YouTube videos or whatever when she was working in the Performance Center.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos.
She will work and she will be able to put on good matches. Like, and once she starts getting that kind of like those couple of matches under her belt with the Sashas, the Alexas, and then eventually working Charlottes and Asukas and like continuously doing feuds with those, I think it'll be something very simple for her to be able to tell a match from start to finish, first technically and then emotionally, right?
Yeah, that's the thing that's going to worry me is like, because she's
I think she'll be able to.
She's not worked out the emotional side of things yet.
But I think that's something that they always focus on first. They do the technical wrestling, then they do the emotional wrestling.
Because she comes down to the ring when she should be pissed off and she's like smiling because you know she's happy to be there. But it's like, don't show that you're happy to be there.
But I think it's still okay to do that now. It's something
kind
that
of okay.
It's going to be still okay to do that up until post-Mania.
And then it's just like,
then
no.
you become at that point, because this is still very much the infancy of the gimmick. This is Ronda Rousey. They're going to have to break it down to where it becomes Ronda Rousey, the professional wrestler, and not Ronda Rousey, the international star.
Yes.
Right? So that's what this period from now and until Raw after Mania, you let her play, they're going to play to it. And she's probably been being told, play to it. You're Ronda Rousey, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, be Ronda Rousey. But then after that, you become a product of the WWE system.
Yeah.
Work the system.
I'm just not a fan of this whole like, she's going to be the female Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, she's not. She's never going to be that. They can try, and if they can get close, that's good.
She should more realistically be female Brock Lesnar, but
yeah, that's probably because. But they're obviously setting up Stephanie as like the Vince and her as the
yeah,
as the
they
Stone
are
Cold.
too. Yeah,
and it's like I can see exactly what you're doing, and I get it, but it's not the way that you should be doing it because no one can be Stone Cold. No one can be that charismatic, that good in the ring, have that connection with the audience. It's not going to happen. So you can try it all you like, but you're going to fuck it up. Whereas if you just play to what her strengths are, which is when she goes from being smiling fan of pro wrestling Ronda Rousey to being badass, wants to tear Stephanie McMahon's arm off, that's when I'm all in on Ronda Rousey. When she gets that look on her face, like she's going to like tear your soul out through your nostrils.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. But before that, when she's like smiling and just being like, hi, I'm like, nah.
But that's where I'm excited because I think she will definitely get there.
She needs to learn how to separate.
I think she'll get there.
She needs to learn
I
how
don't
to
think she'll
separate
get
those
there
two
on the
things.
mic, but I think she'll be able to get there in the ring. In terms of being able to stare someone down and then be able to translate that message through that emotion.
Yep.
She doesn't have to do it on the mic because that's a completely different skill set. There's facial acting, then there's being able to like rote acting with like, words. Like, I don't think
maybe her and Roman can go to acting class together.
Oh, good Roman stiff. I think we'll leave it there.
Thank you. One last thing before we wrap up. My favorite segment from this week. Did you see Tommaso Ciampa's thing on?
Was it that or not?
No. He came out for his first promo since he beat up Johnny Gargano at Chicago.
Not.
It's amazing.
Tommaso Ciampa, he's a talent.
I'm just gonna hang on. I'll get my phone on mute, but I'm gonna show you something because like I want to because he's got a leg injury, right?
Yeah. Still, I thought he's cleared.
He came out on NXT with a crutch, and he's got like one of the Steve Austin,
but being worked, but
Steve Austin knee braces on.
but he can work though.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He was walking. He looked to be walking fine, but obviously he's probably still got a little while to go before he's actually ready to go in the ring. But I kind of worked out the fact that he's obviously been doing nothing but working his upper body because
he's so jacked, bro.
So jacked
but
right now.
He's always been so jacked, but
I know. But like you look at this and you're just like, holy shit, he has not been doing anything but working at his bloody arms for like the last 6 months he's been injured. Because he is fucking ridiculous. But he comes out, does his promo. Well, actually, didn't even get a chance to do a promo because the crowd was booing him that fucking much.
Oh, yeah.
They would not let him talk.
Would you argue he has the most heat on him in the company right now?
Oh, fuck it. Like the like proper heel heat.
Yeah.
Like where the crowd is supposed to hate the fuck out of you and they do hate him. He is right now the best heel.
I mean, you don't
in the
fuck
company.
with Johnny Wrestling.
So he came out. It was very much similar to the Roman Reigns post Undertaker.
Yo,
I know. How fucking jacked are his arms right now? He is just fucking ridiculous. So he didn't get a single word out every time he put the microphone to his face. It was like Roman Reigns coming out after beating Taker.
Yeah.
Just the boos. The boos would not stop, and it was fucking awesome. But look at his shoulders. Christ, he's been doing nothing. He's been, look at the, oh my God.
You reckon They do drug testing down in NXT?
I think they
Legit,
should
dude. Legit. Do you reckon they actually
they should
because
be.
a lot of talent comes in and out. They might do an initial drug test,
Maybe.
but I don't reckon they keep doing drug
But
tests.
look at him. He's just fucking like.
And if you're out on injury, are you meant to be still in the drug pool?
I would say so. Well, I mean, you're probably on some form of like steroids for inflammation and pain relief, but I don't know. Anyway, he looks jacked as shit, and I'm loving it.
He always has been, he always been jacked.
Yeah, but
not
he's been
that
like,
jacked,
no, he's fucking massive because he had to cut. I think he was one of the guys that like legitimately, in quotations, had to cut weight to make 205 for 205 Live or for Cruiserweight Classic. Now I don't think he gives a fuck because just fucking Jesus Christ, he's huge. But yeah, this promo was just like him coming out, couldn't get a fucking word in, does the stomp around the outside of the ring, grabs a Johnny Gargano poster, rips it in half in front of the crowd. The crowd fucking lost their shit at that point, and then he proceeded to beat the poster that he tore up with his crutch. So I fucking loved it. Yeah, he's never been that big. He has never been that fucking... Anyway, good work for an audio medium. Us watching the video right now. Yep. But no, it was perfect, and I really want to see how they bring... Because Gargano has been posting on all the socials and shit that he's gone. He's finished his NXT obligations.
It's a work, dude. It's a work.
I know. But I'm like, how are they gonna work him back into NXT? Obviously, this match has to happen. If he's cleared by WrestleMania for TakeOver New Orleans.
Look, this is the thing. You don't have to have Johnny Gargano on the shows going forward just yet, because you can still build the feud.
You've only got 4 weeks.
With Ciampa though.
You've only got 4 weeks.
But that's short though.
Yeah,
I know.
But remember, they do tapings like in 3 or 4 week blocks.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, maybe for him it doesn't feel like much, but like for us, 4 weeks, it isn't that much. Like you could do 4 weeks worth of having Ciampa in 5-minute segments coming out and being like Gargano's a fucking cunt, and then on the third one, the third taping, third week, he comes out and then goes, you know what? Like he was just, let's just say he's watching in the audience. I'm now a fan of NXT, guys.
Yeah,
like,
he buys a ticket and sits ringside.
And then,
but
you call that match?
The thing is, like the tapings that lead up to WrestleMania are either have already happened or are about to happen.
Well, then
so we're gonna have the spoilers for it anyway, because I always look up the NXT spoilers because I'm a terrible person.
I saw spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he just came out and he did exactly what he needed to do. He came out, did not say a word. The crowd didn't let him say a word. Tearing up the poster, perfect heel work. Yeah. Perfect heel work. My favorite segment of the week. Fuck, I love him. I love him so much.
That sounds like a good segment. We can do favorite segments of the week.
Yeah.
All these things we should discuss with Michael when he gets back and does the
when he's
the
better.
run sheet.
I miss him. He's the poor boy. He's so sore. We're an hour and a half. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. There is no excuse for Michael's insubordination.
Well, I was going to buy because I want to get tickets to the bloody Tigers Blues game.
How's the footy started back up?
It's in a couple of weeks, but it's always Carlton, Richmond. Like I'm back for Richmond, he backs for Carlton.
Yeah.
Always round one.
Is it really?
Like that? They've always every year.
Fair enough.
But like usually me and him go. But I'm like, I really don't want to buy tickets and then have him limping up the stairs on his crutches. So I don't know if he's going to go to round one. I'm not too sure. I'll have to ask him today when I see him. Anyway.
Wait, because he's still heading into the studio. He's in the studio now.
Is he? Is he going to radio today?
No, because that was the thing.
Shit.
He called in because he wanted to get rest, and then he was going to head in to do the show because they have...
Well, maybe he's just sore.
Spoiler, Reese Maston on.
Oh, who cares? Reese Maston.
Fuck, he hasn't been relevant in 7 years.
No. Anyway, that'll do it for this week. We're done.
Yeah,
you can follow Australia Mania on all forms of social media at STRAYAMANIA. There's a lot of A's in that. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook group is up. I'll actually have to post something on there at some point. And the YouTubes, and you can follow myself at Ricki Needs at RICKINEEDS. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and probably that's it. David, plug your Snapchat.
Yeah, let's plug my Snapchat. Just suss me at David Yang 24. It's the most fuego Snapchat in the Southern Hemisphere.
It is quite fuego. Yesterday featured you standing on a freeway during peak hour.
Oh, dude.
I swear to God, I saw you on the news.
Yeah?
Did you see a news chopper floating over your head when you were standing outside?
I was talking to a bunch of people, dude.
Yeah, there was like a group of like 2 or 3 people standing next to a car. What were you wearing yesterday?
It was black shirt, blue jeans.
Black shirt, blue jeans. I reckon I may have seen you on the news last night.
Yo, that would have been sick.
It was like a swole dude standing next to like a couple of other dudes, and just like, man, that swole dude looks like David.
Yo, respect, bro.
I think you may have been on the news.
Yeah, I was stuck in that for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But yeah, if you want to see David stuck in traffic or yelling at level crossings, follow him on Snapchat.
I was also at Bruno Mars yesterday, but
Yeah.
that pales in comparison to the 2 hours I spent in fucking traffic.
I was so like tempted to fucking, if I had like a skateboard or something, I would have gone.
Dude, honestly, I would have chopped you like a bunch of cash because I had not eaten that morning. I had not had any coffee.
Yeah.
I was actually going in early to uni to get these things.
Yeah.
To start my morning with a coffee and something to eat.
And
nah, bro, I missed like complete first half of my education.
And a fucking a truck jackknifes itself on the fucking Westgate. Good.
Fuck.
Good. Anyway, we'll be back. Hopefully.
We'll be back next week. Otherwise, we're going on hiatus until Michael decides he wants to return.
No, we're not doing that. Me and you are holding down the fort pretty well. I'm enjoying the couch sessions.
Yeah,
chilling out.
Look, I am too.
I know
I'm not enjoying paying $25 for parking.
Yeah, I know you're not, but
we haven't got any tax incentives as Australia Mania just yet. We're not an incorporated company.
I will get there.
Yeah, we will. We will get there.
All right.
No help to Michael though.
I believe in you. You're got the business acumen of the group. I don't.
I've only just started a company. We'll see whether it's successful.
I just say words good.
We'll leave it there.
And I produce the fucking thing. Hopefully after this week we should have, because I'm literally like, we are sitting here and the guy coming to fix my internet is coming in like half an hour. So hopefully after this episode, all the following episodes should no longer be delayed due to my shitty living conditions. So yeah, that's good. That's good news.
Sick. All right, we're out.
We out. Toodaloo. Oh yeah, and tell a friend about the podcast. That would be really, really good. Anyone loves pro wrestling, let them know, because we want to do more of this, and we want to do some special stuff leading up to the show in Australia. So
I'm 100% getting on commentary for that.
Sure,
that's my hustle.
I'm sure you are.
That's my hustle.
I'm sure you want to. All right. Anyway, we'll see you next week.